My adventurous and optimistic Sagittarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Sagittarius, this week opens with a pulse of quiet unrest beneath your outward stride. Maybe you can feel it just under the surface, an uneasiness that resists definition, a question mark lingering in the back of your mind. You might notice yourself hesitating where you'd usually leap, or second-guessing a truth you once felt sure of. There's a sense that something is shifting. The familiar optimism you wear like a banner softens, replaced by a subtler curiosity, a wariness that doesn't fit your usual rhythm. Is it uncertainty about something you can't quite name? Or is it the weight of a feeling you haven't wanted to examine? You sense a boundary between what you show and what you feel, a line that seems to blur when you're alone with your thoughts. This tension isn't loud. It's the hush before a question finds its words. It's the echo of your own footsteps on a path that's suddenly unfamiliar. You're not lost, but you are searching for something that calls just beyond the obvious. In this space, the moon rises quietly in your inner landscape. Its presence is not so much a revelation as a recognition, a gentle, persistent awareness that not everything is as clear as you'd like it to be. You notice how your mind loops back to certain memories, old stories, or emotions that don't line up neatly with your current reality. There's a dreamlike quality to your days, as if you're wading through a fog where intuition grows stronger even as facts grow dimmer. This isn't confusion for its own sake. It's a subtle invitation to listen to the undercurrents of your own experience. You might find your mood shifting without warning, or small anxieties surfacing when you least expect them. Sleep may bring vivid dreams, pulling you into feelings that linger after waking. There is a longing here, a desire to understand something you can't fully see. Yet under the uncertainty there's also a quiet bravery, a willingness to sit with what is unresolved. You're not pushing the doubt away. Instead, you're learning to coexist with it, to trust that clarity doesn't always arrive on command. Sometimes you realize the most honest moments are the ones where you admit you don't know. You are allowing yourself to feel what you feel, even if it doesn't make sense yet. And in that gentle acceptance, the first threads of insight begin to weave through the fog. From this inner state, a path begins to take shape, not through force or certainty, but through the steady unfolding of each day. The tension you've been holding quietly starts to ripple outward, coloring the way you move through your routines and interact with others. You notice the urge to remain composed, to keep your emotions in check, even as you sense the undercurrents moving beneath the surface. The desire to appear steady grows stronger, prompting small choices about when to speak, when to listen, and when to simply observe. Each encounter, every decision becomes a response to the subtle questions you're carrying within. And as you walk this line between vulnerability and composure, your path asks for a deeper kind of presence, one that can honor both the uncertainty and the need for calm. This is where the King of Cups appears on your path, not as a ruler above the storm, but as someone who has learned to feel deeply without being lost in the tide. You may find yourself navigating complex emotional waters this week, your own, and perhaps those of others who look to you for steadiness. There's a quiet pressure to maintain equilibrium, to hold space for the emotions that arise without letting them sweep you away. Conversations may move into deeper territory, or you might be called to support someone else through their own doubts. The friction here isn't explosive. It's the slow burn of needing to stay present when things are uncertain. You feel the weight of being the calm in the room, even when you're not sure you have the answers. Each moment asks you to balance empathy with boundaries, to listen without absorbing every feeling as your own. There may be moments when you want to retreat, to avoid the emotional complexities that seem to multiply. Yet you discover that your own steadiness is something you build, moment, by choosing to remain with what is real rather than escaping into distraction or denial. The week unfolds with a rhythm of gentle self-containment. You allow feelings to move through you, but you don't let them dictate your next step. In this space, your presence becomes a quiet anchor for yourself and for others, even as the waters remain uncertain. Still, the potential of this week is not decided by circumstances alone. What becomes possible depends on how you meet these moments, on your willingness to engage with what is, rather than waiting for the fog to lift or the tension to resolve itself. Each choice you make is an invitation to step more fully into your own experience, to trust that something meaningful can arise even in the midst of ambiguity. And so, the Four of Cups emerges as a gentle possibility, not an outcome. This card does not promise transformation, but it does offer a new way of seeing what's in front of you. There may be a temptation to withdraw, to turn inward and dwell on what feels lacking or unresolved. You might catch yourself comparing the present to the past, missing what once brought you comfort, or wondering why satisfaction feels just out of reach. Yet in the midst of this quiet discontent, there is also a subtle invitation to notice what is being offered, even if it doesn't look like what you expected. Growth here is not about forcing gratitude or chasing after new experiences. It's about becoming gently receptive to the possibilities that emerge when you pause and pay attention. When you meet the moment with openness, without demanding answers or certainty, you create space for something meaningful to appear. It could be a feeling of peace in the midst of confusion, or a small insight that shifts your perspective just enough. The invitation is not to fix or flee, but to notice the gifts that arrive in stillness, and to allow yourself to receive them, however quietly they come. The story of your week, Sagittarius, weaves together these three threads: the quiet unrest that calls you inward, the steady presence you offer in the world, and the gentle opening that becomes possible when you meet the moment as it is. The moon reminds you that not all answers are immediate, and that uncertainty can be a fertile ground for self-discovery. The King of Cups shows you the strength in holding space for complexity, in being both sensitive and anchored as you move through shifting tides. The Four of Cups whispers that even in moments of stillness or longing, there are gifts waiting to be recognized, not as grand revelations, but as subtle shifts in your own awareness. This week, your journey is not about conquering the unknown or forcing clarity. It's about living alongside uncertainty, trusting that meaning grows quietly when you let yourself feel, listen, and receive. In this space, you are both the seeker and the anchor, learning to cherish the questions as much as the answers. As the days pass, you may find that the tension softens, not because all is resolved, but because you have made a home in your own presence. And that, Sagittarius, is its own kind of calm. Actionable insights for Sagittarius this week: when restlessness rises, try letting yourself sit with it for a few quiet minutes before reaching for distractions. If you notice yourself closing off, gently welcome one small new experience, however ordinary, to see how it feels. In moments of discomfort, see if you can focus on the sensations in your body, noticing without judging. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset: I meet uncertainty with steady breath. My feelings are welcome in my own space. Even in stillness, I am present and alive. I trust the quiet to show me what matters. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.